A lot of new faces in the cornerback room with Rob and Eric going to the NFL. Just what have you thought about that group in the spring so far?
Yeah, I think they've done a pretty good job so far. Obviously, big shoes to fill with Eric and Beam trying to go to the next level. But I think those guys have done a good job leading the group in the past year. So I think that has kind of built the room into a position where the next guy can step up. So I think the guys have been doing a good job. We got a lot to work on, but very excited, toward the end of spring to see where we're at.
What have you seen from Bo Masco this spring and kind of what you want him to see going forward now heading into training camp?
Yeah, he's done a really good job this spring. We've kind of laid out a plan for him at things to get better at, and he's done that. The thing that I'm really proud of for him is even though he's a younger guy, he's done a really good job leading the group. Like I said in the last question, Robert and Eric going on to the NFL, those are big voices and leaders in the room. So we kind of needed somebody to fill that void, and I think he's been doing a pretty good job.
David, what's it like coaching now, coming back full circle, recruited here, played here, and now you're coaching?
Yeah, sometimes it's like the movies. Like I get flashbacks all the time. Sometimes when he's yelling, I don't is he yelling at me? Like is it like how it used to be? But to be honest with you, since I started coaching, I've always wanted to have this job. And I finally, however many years later, am able to come back under coach who gave me my first job coaching. So it's pretty cool to come back and then, just seeing all the people that were here the first time. Things were a little bit different when I played here. I've always kind of followed the program from afar. But I will say I'm proud of where we've come, and then just all the resources being in the Big Ten. I think we're in a good spot, and I'm happy to be here.
To kind of go off that question, I mean, playing for Coach Schiano, now coaching under him, how did that playing experience kind of prepare you for what he expects and the culture and things like that?
Yeah, so I've done pretty much everything that all these kids have done, right? So a lot of the same coaching points, the same things we do in the meetings and whatnot. I've walked in their shoes and I've done it, so I think that's great for me, right, being able to help the kids in that way. And then, from the opposite side, coaching-wise, I know what he expects. I know what the culture is, right? So, I'm very excited to be here, and I think it's going to be good. But, my funny story, so, like, my wife went to school here. My brother's wife went to school here, right? So there's a lot of connections. I love Rutgers, and it's all in my blood. So,
David, with Kent Miller coming in, what have you seen from him? Because, he has that versatility similar to what you had as a player.
Yeah, he's done a really good job coming in. He can play inside, play outside, play up high. Like, he can play all 5 positions in the DB room. Was a really good player at Penn State. Older guy in the room that's come in and done a good job leading the group. So, very excited to see what he's going to do for us.
Al-Shadi's in his second year converting from a running back to a cornerback. Have you seen him kind of take steps and get more comfortable in the position that it seems like he's probably learned it by now, but just have you seen him get more comfortable?
Yeah, it doesn't appear like it's just only a second year playing it. I think he's done a really good job this spring. Not only this spring, but I thought he did a really good job last year. And he, along with Bo, are the 2 guys in the room that have been doing a good job leading the young guys. So very proud of Shorty and what he's done on and off the field. So looking forward to seeing what he can do this year as well.
Are there any guys in that cornerback room that maybe don't have the Big Ten experience yet that have kind of taken some big strides and kind of broken through in the room?
Yeah, for the most part, I'm really proud of all the young guys that came in. I think the 2 transfer guys are fitting right in. They've played a lot of ball, have a lot of experience, so there's no doubt in my mind that they'll do a good job. But I'm really proud of the 3 freshmen that we have in the room right now. I know it's not easy to come in mid-year in the winter program, but they've adjusted well, and I think we got a bright future. So,
with recruiting-wise, how have you adapted? I mean, it's not your first coaching job, but how did you kind of get your feet settled in that, and what's kind of your take on or your philosophy in recruiting?
Yeah, my philosophy in recruiting is I want to try to find the best football player. And then after that, I want to try to get all the intangibles I can. But, the bottom line is if you can look as good as you want to and have all these measurables, but if you're not a football player, then it's probably the wrong sport for you, right? So that's the main thing that I look for. And then the second thing is specifically here, I think it's different when you can say you played for Coach and you played here, right? So I know the ins and outs of the university, and I know what Coach expects not only the head coach but also the DC because I played under Rob Smith. So a lot of connections there that I think they'll be able to help me with relationships to the kids. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate y'all.